This is going to be a tutorial for the hip thrust, in particular the single leg variation. So this is to really put more tension on the glutes than if you were to use two legs at one go. Now you're supporting your body weight with just one side of your gluteus maximus, and therefore it's a progression from if you were to use just a normal hip thrust. What you want to think about when you do this movement is pushing through the heel of your foot, and at the top of the range of motion you want to have about a 90-degree angle at the back of your knee of the leg that's on the floor. Anything more and it's not going to feel very stable. Anything less and you're going to feel it a little bit more on your quads. And for your leg that's straight, you're gonna feel the hip flexor working. Your hip flexor is the muscle on the front of your thigh at about your hip area. So for me in particular, that is a relatively weak muscle, so I felt it working quite a lot. And it's actually good to get that nice and strong. So this exercise not only trains your hip flexor, but it also will train your glute max, but it'll also work your hip flexor to some degree. As you can see, the platform that I'm doing this on is quite low, so the range of motion isn't incredible, but at the same time I felt a very good squeeze at the top. Just to increase the range of motion, I found a higher platform to do it on. Ironically, I didn't feel it as much. I think perhaps because it was a very perhaps because I'm not used to this exercise, so it was pretty challenging for me actually. So I think perhaps it was a little too much at this stage. So I like to keep it simple. So basically, all I'm thinking about is pushing through the heel of my foot, and as I come down, I feel that stretch in my glutes and hamstrings. For anyone that's done an incline hyperextension, that feeling where you're tilting your pelvis to get that stretch in your glutes and hamstrings, that's exactly what I'm thinking about every time I come down. And then I push through my heel and drive my hips up as high as I can, get my knee, my hips, and my shoulders in one straight line, and that's gonna fully squeeze your glutes. You're gonna feel it in your glutes and your hamstrings, and of course your hip flexors as well, to keep your legs straight. Not a very easy movement, but very very good for loading your glutes with a little bit more weight when we don't have access to a gym or barbells to do some loaded hip thrusts. Hope you found this useful. Enjoy it. Take care.